This morning, I had the privilege of joining with 6 of our congregation members for another session of our journey through John's Gospel. We are joining in with all of the other readers in the United Methodist Conference in Florida who have been reading the Gospels of Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John throughout the summer. Today, we made our way up to John's Gospel, chapter 12, and our task when we gather virtually on Wednesday mornings is very simple. You do your reading at home as your homework, and you come ready with some questions or some points that stood out for you in the text. It's a really simple time just to come together and have some really good, holy conversation, which is really what Christians ought to be doing, right? We gathered today, and I have to tell you, for 60 minutes, we had some of the most life-giving conversation that I've had this entire week. It was good to gather around the scripture, to bring our questions, to share our own insights, and to be reminded of the exceedingly good news that Jesus Christ is the Good Shepherd who knows our names and we know his voice. To be reminded that life in all its abundance is available in Jesus Christ. It was just good for the Word to come alive for us. I've been preparing for my next Bible study, which is going to start next Wednesday evening on Zoom at 6 o'clock. It's going to be a study in the book of Revelation, right at the very end of the New Testament. As I sit here listening to the thunder rolling around outside my office, I'm reminded of the title of one of the books that I'm using in that study. It's called Reversed Thunder by Eugene Peterson. And as he opens up the beginning of his introduction to his study, he reminds his readers that when reading the Revelation, you're not coming to it for more knowledge. You're coming to it so that all of the knowledge from the 65 previous books of the Bible may come to life once again in Revelation's powerful imagery and language that John uses all the way through. But Peterson also points out one other thing. He says that this word that was given by God to John was filled with life when John received it. And then it was written down so that others might share in that life. But the difficulty is that sometimes when words get written down, our temptation can be to take our eyes off the life that's within them and begin to analyze the words to death. Ultimately, they then lose their power. I think Peterson's point is well made. How has your scripture reading been going in recent days, or months, or years? Is the scripture something that you feel you have read or heard preached time and time again and that you have nothing more to learn from it? If that's the case, then I want to invite you to try reading scripture in a new way, to read it seeking all of the life that's in it. If you need help with that, I invite you to join in with my study on Wednesday nights, because that's going to be the tack that I'm going to take. We're going to try and find life in these words of the Revelation. My friends, make no mistake. In these hard, difficult times, when so much has been stripped away from us, when so much of what we're used to, so much of the food that we have had nourish our spiritual lives is no longer freely available as it once was, the good news that Jesus Christ is life and life in all its fullness is available in him has not changed. We've got to bring ourselves before the scripture, and we've got to find life in those words, and we've got to let them feed our souls, because these days are hard, confusing. They have us all over the place. Some of our conversations are hard. I've had several in the last week. And today, when I came before the scripture, I found in it life. In fellowship with 5 or 6 other church members, I found life in those words. My friends, I encourage you to do the same. If you're not in a group, find a group. If you need help finding a group, let us know and we will get you engaged with a class or a group that is sitting down around the scripture. But there is life in these words, friends, and we must find it as the people of faith, because that life is that which will sustain us in these days ahead. Can't wait to record another message with you on Friday. Can't wait to see you on Sunday morning at our drive-through event, Celebrate Memorial. And of course, I can't wait to worship with you again at 11 o'clock on Facebook Live on Sunday morning. Until then, God bless you all and take care.